Okay, I have to make a YouTube video. Get more focus. That looks nice, that's pretty sharp. But what is the deal with those colours? Why is my skin green or whatever? I don't know what colour that is. I look like a zombie. I look like I'm not even alive. Totally going to send that back and get the Sony. The Sony has all the colour science and the big sensor that gives you nice depth of field and makes your pictures look good. Should have got that one. Rubbish camera, going to leave a bad review. Right, time to make a YouTube video. Okay, let's just put this key light on. Okay, starting to smarten things up again. Hold on. Focus looks quite sharp. Hello, I'm Stewart Carroll and welcome to Drone Film Guide, the channel where we learn to fly like filmmakers. So it'd be pretty hard as a photographer, filmmaker, drone cinematographer not to take at least a passing interest in the gear itself. I'm not suggesting for a minute that that's not important or that it's foolhardy to enjoy watching product releases and all that kind of stuff, especially with a company like DJI, an innovator bringing out amazing new products every 6 months. It's dead exciting, but I'll tell you why it's exciting for me. It excites me because the new products give me creative opportunities that I didn't have before as a filmmaker, as a relatively experienced filmmaker. But before we get into that, to illustrate the point as to why you shouldn't necessarily be obsessed with the gear, you should be obsessed with the art itself, with the creation of beautiful content. Let's look at 3 drone shots filmed by us over the last few years. One on a Phantom 2 with a GoPro, one on the Phantom 4 Standard, and one with the Mavic 2 Pro. And you tell me which shot was filmed on which drone. That was comfortable. Did you guess? Did you get them all right? Doesn't really matter. I think I'm starting to illustrate the point. Combined with the skit at the start of this video, it's what you do with it that counts, provided your camera meets a certain standard, of course, but most drones on the market today do. It's what you do with it that counts. In our 8-hour drone cinematography masterclass, we talk about the 5 components of aerial cinematography that we think you should really be concerning yourself with when it comes to producing stunning footage. First of all, we talk about creating suspense. Don't lay all your cards on the table in the very first shot. Second of all, we talk about creating depth in your shot, using foreground, midground and background elements to create a 3-dimensional image on your screen. Thirdly, we talk about motion, using the motion of the camera and the drone as a storytelling device to make your shots even more engaging. Fourthly, we talk about lighting, your number one light source, the sun, using the shadows and light to create depth in your image. Fifthly, we talk about composition, constructing pleasing images that draw your viewer's eye through the frame and help you tell the story. That for us is what filmmaking is all about. It's the creative process of taking those elements and creating a fantastic storytelling shot that adds value to your piece of work. Let's talk about creativity. Does your gear really influence your creativity? I mean, you could argue with drones that maybe new gear gives you new creative opportunities with new orbits, new moves, new quick shots, active track, all that kind of stuff, maybe to some extent. But putting that aside, when you look at the Hollywood examples we present in the drone masterclass, for example, almost all of them are extremely basic. I'm not making this up. Almost all of them you could do on a Phantom 2 with a GoPro. You just have to have the right pieces of the puzzle in place, the suspense, the motion, the light, the depth in the shot, the composition. And that's expertise that you can learn and is not dependent on your gear. Just by way of a little anecdote, Alina and I are in conversations with one of our clients. We make music videos for him. And we looked at one of the ones we did 5 years ago and we're like, oh, this is going to be a bit cringe. You know, times move on, the gear gets better, your productivity and your production value and your creativity improve. And we looked at it and we're like, oh man, this is better than some of the stuff that we've done in the last few years. It was so much more creative. There's tons of stop motion in there. There was just cool techniques, cool lighting, dramatic editing, wacky angles. It was a great wee piece of work. And it was filmed on rubbish cameras with rubbish lighting, rubbish equipment in a very kind of run and gun style, but the creativity and the enthusiasm and energy that we'd put behind it 5 years ago was visible to see in elements of that music video that we haven't seen in our work for the last few years. So we need to get that back. You know, we need to get back to basics and get our creative hats on, because we're guilty of it as well, getting a little bit caught up in gear and life gets in the way and you're busy doing a job. In our case, we're quite busy during the summer filming weddings, and it's creative, but you still kind of fall into a pattern with it. So that, in addition to all those elements we discussed before, the creative process, the mindset, that's what's going to transform your work, not your gear. Hey, I've got a question for you, Stewart. Why are you standing in a garage looking like you just had an accident with a tin of paint? Well, if you follow our Instagram page, and we would highly recommend that you do, at Drone Film Guide, hashtag Drone Film Guide, something like that, I don't know, it's on Instagram, then you would know that we are converting this garage into a permanent studio space for our YouTube channel. Pretty great. We're going to have a big backdrop there. We're going to have a nice kind of wooden table made out of reclaimed wood from a gate project that never quite happened at the front. Nice big soft box for nice soft shadows, because none of us are getting any younger. And all kinds of cool stuff. It's going to be great. It's going to massively increase our productivity. We're going to be able to put out more content. So I am dead excited about that. Really tickled. Anyway, in the spirit of continued learning and development, we also want to put out a feedback video. So if you would like to leave links to some of your work in the description below, at some point we'll pick some of those videos where we think there's interesting things to discuss, where we can learn, where we can kind of progress our own thoughts and our own ideas, apply some principles to maybe improve things, and we can just talk about that. It's such a fantastic way of learning in a creative field. So if you're happy for your work to be critiqued, if you like, in the friendliest and nicest possible sense by ourselves, do leave a link below. We'd love to see the progress that you're making with your work. Anyway, I think that's all from us now. I hope you're inspired. I hope you're going to go out, create and do something amazing with your drones and not just spend, your life pressing refresh on the DJI website waiting for a press release about the Phantom 5 or something like that. So go out and do that. Subscribe to our channel, stay in touch, leave your comments below, and we will see you next time on Drone Film Guide.